Hey, how y'all doing? Justin Montgomery here, your friendly director of marketing at Eastern Oregon University. I'm sitting here in my office, my new office, now that in-law hall has been redone. I have a window, I have stuff on the walls, and I'm very happy to have a window. My previous office didn't, so it was rather dark. Anyways, I was sitting here thinking, I just watched an interview um, on with Jeffrey Hinton, one of the fathers of AI, and one of the things that they had talked about was consciousness. Is AI conscious? So today I kind of want to talk about a pretty big idea about how we measure consciousness. So what if we measured consciousness not by subjective experience, but by agenda and autonomy, right? Kind of wild, but bear with me. This perspective might just make a lot of sense. So let's go. First, let's break it down. Subjective experience, it's the whole what it feels like to be conscious, is kind of the traditional way that we think about consciousness. But here's the thing. It's private. You can't see it, measure it, or prove it in anyone else. And that makes it it's tough to work with scientifically or even practically. So instead, what if we focused on agenda, having clear goals and autonomy, the ability to act independently? These are things that we can observe, measure, and even apply to systems like AI. So I think that's pretty cool. I think it's a new way of, not new, I think it's a good way of approaching this. Anyways, this approach is super practical. Think about artificial intelligence, for example. Whether or not AI feels anything, if it has goals and can act independently, that's what matters in terms of its impact on us. Right? By focusing on agenda and autonomy, we can build systems that act intelligently and ethically, even if they're not feeling conscious. Now, I get it. Some people might say, isn't subjective experience the essence of consciousness? And that is a fair point. But here's the thing. Subjective experience might just be a byproduct of systems that have agenda and autonomy. It might be something that arises from those systems. So instead of chasing something we can't measure, this approach helps us understand and work with what we can see. From an evolutionary perspective, consciousness is about surviving and thriving. Systems that have goals and act independently are better equipped to adapt to their environments. And, this idea isn't just for humans. It can apply to animals, machines, maybe even life forms we haven't discovered yet. Now, let's circle back and talk ethics. If we recognize agenda and autonomy as signs of consciousness or the essence of consciousness, we can set clearer guidelines for how we interact with these systems. Whether it's AI or autonomous machines, treating these entities responsibly can help avoid harm and ensure fairness. Now, some people might worry that this oversimplifies consciousness, reducing it to mechanics instead of the mystery we associate with it. But honestly, this approach doesn't ignore the mystery. It just gives us a practical framework to move forward. It's really like laying the foundation for a bigger conversation. So why does this matter? Focusing on agenda and autonomy makes the study of consciousness more scientific, more universal, and more applicable to real-world problems. So whether we're building the future of AI or understanding our place in the universe, this perspective helps us take actionable steps forward. Anyways, what do you think? Does this idea challenge how you've thought about consciousness before? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. And hey, thanks for listening. This was a fun one. So see you next time. Bye.